It's 51.
Mm-hmm.
You are listening to Castles and Cryptids, where the castles are haunted and the cryptids are cryptic as fuck. I'm Alanna.
And I'm Kelsey.
And it's episode 51. Woo! I have called it Asinine Assassins because I thought that was my favorite name for it.
I couldn't remember what you had said last time, so I just kept calling it Horrible Hitmen.
Which is great too. It's both alliteration, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is one of the, I think it's going to be kind of a lighter one, which is kind of funny because I did text you how we had gotten at least one response to my question on our episode last week on Spotify. You could see the question if you were on Spotify. And it was like, do you guys like a little bit funnier cases, or do you like kind of the little bit more gruesome true crime cases?
Yeah.
And it was like their username was like liquid or liquid. They were like
something like that.
Yeah, I like the more gruesome cases. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, good to know.
I just like any response that it's like, okay, it's not just bots out there listening to us. No. These are real people.
Hey, whatever gets the listener count up. No.
Uh-oh. Careful what you say, right?
No, I don't want spam listeners. But no, if you guys, how does that poll work? Is it just on the one episode, or is it like on our main page?
You can ask them per episode. So they'll appear at the bottom of the episode description, and that's it. Yeah, but it's kind of neat.
If people want to go back to last week's episode for our podiversary, and let us know. We'd love more responses so we can kind of get a feel other than just focusing, I guess, on like our listener numbers. But for the people that keep coming back and sticking with us, we'd definitely like to know what kind of episodes maybe you're more interested in, and maybe we can try and do them a little bit more often.
This is true.
Yeah.
All for you, the fans.
And other than that, you can always go onto our Patreon and either join our Patreon and donate to us to access all our like bonus content, or you can take a poll even on there and let us know what kind of stuff, if you aren't already following us, that you'd be interested in for our Patreon content. Or you can rate us and subscribe on Good Pods, and I think iTunes you can review, and Spotify you can leave reviews. I think
you can rate. Yeah, you can definitely rate most places at least now, which is really helpful. And rating and liking and subscribing and telling a friend are damn good ways, and listening. So even it's everything counts. I always find new podcasts and then I don't shut the hell up about them, and I'm like, there you probably have 5 new listeners maybe. I don't know. How does that work? If someone tells them something bad, they'll tell like 10 people. If they like a place, they like tell like 2 people. You're like, damn it.
No, true.
I don't want to be infamous.
Don't tell anybody if you don't like us. Keep it to yourself.
Why are you here if you don't like us?
Every week. I listen. Listen every week.
No. But the one person that just started on this episode, they're like, I don't know if I like you yet.
All you're talking about is people not liking you.
I know. We do talk about that and our pets and various and sundry other things, but we also talk about true crime and the paranormal because it's so fun.
Yeah, I've had to start telling people that ask like what I do in my spare time. I'm like, I run a podcast and stuff, and I had to stop saying it's like true crime and supernatural because everybody asks if we talk about the Supernatural TV show, and I'm like, no. So I've had to start saying it's true crime and paranormal.
A lot more people watch Supernatural actually that I find that I ever thought. I mean, at least 2 people recognized my Supernatural shirt at the Haunted Museum, the Zach Baggins Museum. I remember two people talking to me because of that, and I was like wearing my jacket, so you couldn't even see the wings in the bag. It just had that quote from about Castiel, the angel. I gripped you tight and raised you from perdition.
Sounds very biblical.
It is, right? And then he talks because he's an angel. So then, like, but if you're not familiar with the show, they're probably like, what? This lady.
She's super religious. Just going to the haunted museum.
What is she doing here? Yeah. Okay.
Trying to get possessed.
But yeah, no, I get it. I tend to say true crime and paranormal, but I've heard shows described that way before. So maybe I already had that in my head. But sinister and supernatural, I know we used that description at least on our Reddit.
Yeah
It sounds good too.
But we should get into this week's episode.
Let's should be into it.
A fun episode. I know you're kicking us off for some horrible hitmen or asinine assassins.
It's gonna be something.
Yeah. Gonna be a fun episode, I think.
Now, did I say this since we started recording, or was I just telling you that it was all from a list from cracked.com?
I think you just told me, but good to know.
It is. No, it gives you an idea of what we're working with, especially if you know Cracked, which is like almost like it used to be like Mad Magazine.
Yeah, I've used like Cracked lists a few times.
I just used to pretty good. Use them in my day-to-day life as a funny place to go. So I find it hilarious that I'm doing research there now.
Yeah. This is now a source. It's cited.
It wasn't like kind of that initial source where you get the I gave quite a bit, but you know how sometimes you'll get the bare bones from somewhere and then back
2 sentences.
And then you go like, okay, now I have to make sure all of this is not just bullshit. But what's nice is when they put it like you're like reading it. Hang on. I like what they do because you're like reading the story and then they'll put something in highlighted or whatever. And then if you click on that, then it gives you the little link to where they got the information if the link is still active.
I had that twice in mine where the link wasn't active anymore and it just took me to like some archive website and it was like, this page no longer exists. And I was like, no.
404 not found. Took you to the archives.
Yeah, definitely the archives. I'll have to call it that when you can't get access to it. The archives. Instead of the archives, I went to the archives.
It's true. Well, I was just editing last week, so I readily remember me telling you about how I have said that and never can live it down now. It's kind of like when I was younger and I thought chaos was pronounced like cahoos.
I just don't read out loud, so other than this is the most reading out loud I've ever done in my life.
Oh, I like reading out loud most of the time. But sometimes you've got
did you have popcorn reading in school where they have the teacher like picks one kid and then that kid or the teacher just keeps picking people and you're like going through. I was the kid because my anxiety is like so bad about stuff like that. I was the kid that was like pre-reading and like trying to figure out which paragraph I was going to have to read.
I think so. I think most people are, right? Jerry Seinfeld has a bit about public speaking is the number one fear before death. So like, he's like, you'd rather be up there giving the eulogy than in the casket. Like people fear public speaking. It's terrifying. But
well, my thing, I do better if I've read something at least once. Like, so I know what it says than trying to read something for the very first time out loud as I'm like reading it, trying to process it the same time as I'm reading it out loud. I don't retain anything I read the first time out loud.
True. So it's good with the research because you kind of read it beforehand.
I read it and then I edit it and then I always read it one last time being like, oh, I left out words in that sentence and like this doesn't make sense.
And after we edit the episode, you think then we would retain some of the information, but no,
it's like in one ear out the other.
All right, Well, my first one is a woman, a hit woman. So that's good.
Oh,
well,
very cool.
That might be stretching it a bit to call her a hit woman. But this is what this is about, right? They're not good at what they're trying to do.
Supposed hit woman. Aspiring hit woman?
Well, she was an aspiring model, actually. Funny you should say.
Okay.
She was an 18-year-old aspiring model in Memphis and decided 18? That what's that?
She's just 18. I'm gonna be a hitman.
She does. You'll see. she definitely makes stupid choices, but they might not involve her being a hitman. You'll see.
Oh.
She did decide she needed to get Rick. Oh my God, I can't talk. So Jessica Sandy Booth. I don't know why she's got the 3 names named, but there you have it. You know it's bad when.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Or your parents are 3 naming you. That's bad. But she decided she needed to make some money in a get-rich-quick scheme to pay for her, quote, prospective modeling agency that was asking for almost $8,000 to get her career going.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit steep. But what better way for her to steal the money, right? She shouldn't have to pay it out of her own pocket.
Yeah, just take it from another person.
I mean, and then the article that I said I got, it alluded to this a little bit. It's like, why not? They're kind of like ripping her off. Yes, $8,000 to get your modeling career going. Like, what's that going to get you? Some headshots?
Hopefully more than that, but you never know.
All right. So she was a person of opportunity, in my opinion, because she had seen something worth stealing. It was a large pile of cocaine in her next door neighbor's window.
In the window?
She saw it through the window.
Okay. It's like, some people have potted plants on their windowsill. I just have a large pile of cocaine.
It's all ridiculous, but yeah, that's just the start. But no, I think it was on like a table.
On a large mirror.
And it was this house of her neighbors that were 4 large adult men. So that's good. So of course she would need some help. She would need some muscle of her own. So she set out to hire a guy. She found a willing person and told him she wanted to break into the house, murder all 4 men, and steal the coke. Please
murder them. Okay.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure if you just stole the cocaine, they would not expect or suspect it was the 18-year-old model girl living next door.
She just like goes from 0 to 100, this one.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
No in betweens. Go big or go home. She's like, oh, it gets better.
I can't wait.
She began to look for this would-be assassin on whatever unsavory websites do this sort of thing. I don't know. Don't ask me.
I may have an answer for that. As I told you, I have a thing at the end of the episode, so maybe I can answer that on where you can go.
And maybe you have a file with the FBI or some authorities. I don't know. Yes, she found the perfect candidate on these websites. A seemingly strong, willing, and able man who was also happened to be an undercover police officer.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, of course. Now, normally one might arrest a potential killer clientele. I didn't know what to call them. When the money exchanged hands. But in this case, she was so broke, she had promised to pay after the fact. Because sure.
Oh, yeah.
So since the cop obviously could not do this, like kill the guys.
Yeah. Well, he can bust them, hopefully, for the cocaine possession.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah. And then she'll be like, oh, shoot, just as I hired the hitman, the people next door got arrested.
All going to shit. It's like a sitcom over here.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong. No.
It'd be like, no, it's more like Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Except it's cocaine.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
The whitest castle.
Yeah, the castle made of snow. So
yeah, snow castle.
By the way, I know I love the Chili Peppers, and one of their songs is like that snow song. Hey, oh. No, hang on. You know it. Everybody knows it. Pause for brain.
I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's obviously about cocaine, but it's like, oh my god, now I can't. Sorry. I feel like I'm on the spot, even though I can cut this out. But like, whatever. I love it. It's a good song. It was one of their like hits off the album. What is snow? Nope, it's not gonna come to me. I'm sorry. Anyway, ADHD brain. What was I saying? Or was it? Get back to was it just the case?
The cop can't kill the guys.
I was just on a Chili Peppers rant. All right. Oh no, the cocaine. Okay. No, there's definitely lots of songs about cocaine. There's one that's like called Cocaine, I think, right? Cocaine. Yeah, it might be. I don't know who sings it. Don't at me. But oh god. Okay, so the cop could obviously not kill the people. So what could he do? He gave her a quote pair of disabled handguns and told her to do the deed herself.
Oh my god, so she goes in. No, she's gonna like go into that house with these handguns thinking she's gonna kill them and they're gonna kill her.
We have determined she is not very bright, so she might. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh my god. This is terrible.
Jessica just replied, sure thing. I mean, I imagine.
Cool, thanks, bro.
Because she must have been like, give him to me and we'll go to the neighbor's place, because she did take him there, which proved just enough intent for them to book her for whatever it happened to be. I didn't actually get the details on that, but probably like attempted murder or something.
Yeah.
She was arrested and sentenced to 15 years in prison. And they then searched the house in question. The house. I'm going to sound real like that Canadian stereotype we don't want to perpetrate. A boat.
A boot.
A boot. Oh, that's what it is, right? A boot. But the only thing they found laying around was not cocaine, but it is pretty addictive. It was cheese.
Was it just a pile of Parmesan cheese?
Not quite Parmesan. It was queso fresco, a crumbly white Mexican cheese that is divine.
Oh my god. So did they find a pile of it on the coffee table in the living room? Just this is the cheese coffee table cheese pile?
It was the only possible thing that they were like she could have mistaken for Coke. There was nothing on the premises that was drug-like.
I love it. I love it.
So dumb.
Are they snorting the cheese? Oh my god. Oh, I love her. She's so 18-year-olds. Sometimes at work I'm like, oh, 18-year-olds, your little mind.
I would like to point out too how we might have gotten the last episode that thought that some of the crimes would take place in Florida, but this one was in Tennessee. So
Yeah.
So far, no Florida.
Nope.
Yeah, it turns out Jessica had no damn idea what coke looks like, how it's ingested, or probably any idea how stupid it would be to leave your expensive drugs out.
Watch a movie. You don't know what coke. What media are you consuming? Just straight TikTok that you don't know what cocaine looks like or how it's ingested?
Well, and I kind of stole this from the article, but like she wasn't in the model school yet, so who could she really ask?
Oh yeah, in the model industry, nobody knows how to use cocaine.
Right, she would find out as soon as she got there.
Yeah, pay them that $8,000. You'll find out the next day.
Yeah, that's what they need the $8,000 for.
Here's your supply of cocaine so you can lose more weight and become even skinnier.
Right, it's an MLM where the top model gets all the coke. Oh, so that was number one.
Wonderful. I love it.
I loved picking these ones. It was a great list. Oh, I should probably hang on, give credit to the author. Oh, how many tabs can one person have open?
When we record, I normally have like 4 open.
Yeah. The cracked article was by Ryan Menez. Oh my god, I feel like an asshole whenever I try to pronounce anything lately. Menezes. I think so. I've never seen it before in my life. But I liked how he worded the title of the next one. Like just summed it all up. Porn shop owner pays his janitor to kill his wife, but she strangles him instead. So
I think this one sounds vaguely familiar from something.
Does it? Not something you covered, but something you might have run across?
No, but yeah, just about like a hitman being strangled by the person.
It's great. I love this. Well, it's not great, but
so great. I mean,
it's sometimes it's like not what you'd expect, and you're like, yes, kind of. Yeah, the underdog, if you will, maybe. So in 2006 in Portland, Oregon, Michael Kuhnhausen, I hope, offered his custodian. Well, I don't really hope. I don't really care. This guy's kind of a dick. Spoiler. It was either his custodian or his crackhead, depending on what source you read. But
either way, not great.
He offers his associate $50,000 to kill his wife, Susan.
$50,000?
Yeah, that's quite a bit, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the times you hear about not quite that much.
No. Maybe once he gets like life insurance or something. I don't know. It seems like a lot.
All I had was, I think I took it out, but he was hang on, where is this, the one in Vegas? Did I say Vegas? Oh, Portland. Never mind. Nope. That's the next one. I don't know much about him. These were very short, and I didn't look up too much extra information. The interesting part came later. You'll see.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah. Wasn't a deep dive by any means, like I usually do. But the couple were living separate lives in separate houses at the time. Michael and his wife Susan, who he ordered the hit on. But Michael had Susan's security code info, which he gave to Ed, the custodian / crackhead. We're not sure.
Yeah.
One of the two.
The wannabe hitman.
Yeah. Right. They're all like wannabe hitmen, these ones. He laid in wait for Susan to come home, at which point he attacked her with a claw hammer. So,
oh my God.
Not great. Yeah.
No, it's horrifying.
Yeah, but nobody died. Well, I lied. Okay, nope.
Like, wait, I thought you said strangle.
Oh my god, I just gotta get through this. Okay, he he attacked her with a claw hammer. So he did hit her once, I believe. But however, Susan was a hefty lady and wasn't going to go down without a fight. He had managed to hit her in the head before she tackled him and pushed him into the wall. And he apparently said to her, I guess surprised, "You're strong."
Okay.
Which I was like, I love that detail.
I mean, I'm shocked she's like fighting back so well after getting hit in the head with a hammer. Like,
yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, I did see pictures where you could see damages, well, bruising on her face and stuff. So I'm not sure how much it penetrated the head or whatever. But yeah, head injuries are no joke. They bleed a lot. Yeah. So she actually grabbed the hammer away from him, and at least one source said hit him back with the hammer. So she got him back. Yeah. And he grappled with her until he got the hammer back, but then she was able to wrap her hands around his neck and start she squeezed. And so she had him in like a chokehold and was demanding him, like, "You gonna stop now if I let you go?" and asking who sent him. And at least one source I read said she even went so far as to offer to call him an ambulance if he stopped.
God.
Yeah. But he
always said if somebody tried to murder me and I had the opportunity to get them back, let's just say I wouldn't be done until I was damn well sure there was no way they were getting up again.
I feel like, yeah, you'd be raging. Yeah.
I've got at every movie ever when I've watched the girl like hit somebody in the head with pottery and the gun goes flying out of their head, and I was like, and now you grab the gun and you literally shoot every single bullet into their face, and then you stand there. You don't go running outside the door and then 5 seconds later be like, oh my god.
No, triple tap that shit.
Yeah. Triple tap it, like, no, it's cut their head off, like, fuck them.
Well, it's like, what do they say on most of the major true crime things, like fuck politeness,
yeah,
do it, whatever.
Your head's about to become detached from your body, sir.
Yeah, like, yeah, you deserve it.
Sorry about it. Like, except you ain't getting up. Yeah.
But yeah, so she gave him a chance, and he continued to struggle in vain against her, attempting to buck her off, ignoring her question, even when she was like, "Who sent you?" and loosened her grip so he could speak. Jeez. But she panicked when she saw him starting to turn blue, so she did run for the door, but he came after her again. So he grabbed her in the hall and punched her repeatedly in the face. Like, he was not giving up, even though she gave him ample opportunities and showed that she wasn't like any, frail victim or anything. But he showed no signs of stopping his rampage, so she flipped on top of him and kept him in the chokehold until he stopped moving, which resulted in him strangling to death. Good. Yeah. I'm like, you fucking...
Yeah.
Like, that's still self-defense. You did not stop.
100%. Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm more for something like that than the death penalty. It's like you were literally still fighting for your life. Yeah. Police arrived soon on the scene, of course, and initially they did believe that it was kind of like a random intruder, because they were puzzled as to how he had gotten the code to bypass the security system. But fear not, gentle listener, he had brought his handy dandy notebook. What? Wait. Sorry. That's just my brain. I said he wrote it in the notebook, right?
I don't know.
Well, I had something I thought where one of my bullet points after he gave Susan's security code info to Ed, and Ed memorized them, and he also bought a day planner to organize himself for the big day. And he had made sure to keep Mike's name and number handy just in case. I'm sorry, that was my bullet point right before he laid in wait for Susan to come home. So maybe I missed it when, I apologize. This is why we had the doctor's appointment today, because we were like, yeah, sometimes maybe we could think we could have ADD.
No.
We just go on to one point and then we talk about something else and then I got past it, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so he had all this handy information, like Mike's name and phone number, and the connection of how he would have been able to get into Susan's house basically was just laid out for the police.
Yeah. Oh my God. So here, police.
Yeah, I'll bring it to the crime scene with me just in case.
And I love that he bought a day planner for one event and only one event.
Yes.
Susan's house, security card, Michael, here's his phone number.
Basically. That's why I was like, I have to include that.
Whole day planner. 200 some pages.
I mean, sometimes I get that. I have to write down simple lists of things I have to do for the podcast because I'm like, so there's like 5 random things I have to do or whatever. You're like, but not for killing.
No.
So that was, he got 10 years in prison, and Susan sued him for damages and got sued him for $1 million.
Good.
Yeah. She said she wanted to make sure that he would not have money to hire another, my words, idiot once he got out.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. And she deserves it. Jesus.
Yeah, it's not like he had the money. I think it was just more like she was like, I wanted to make sure he couldn't do this again if he was going to get out in my lifetime, which it sounded like he did in 2014. Little bit. Yeah, it sounded like maybe a little bit early because what had happened in 2006 or something. So, but she was saying in the article about when he was going to get released, probably on good behavior. And
because my ex-wife isn't inside the jail.
Yeah.
I always hate that good behavior. Oh yeah, I beat up and abuse women, but I got out on good behavior in my all men's prison because there's no women to abuse and beat up in my all men's prison. So I got out on good behavior.
Yeah, I probably did abuse some men's buttholes,
and it's like, Jesus, good for you. You didn't beat up any dudes. So stupid. I hate good behavior garbage.
You'll be happy to know that when he was going to get out in 2014, he would have been 66 and had terminal prostate cancer.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh about cancer.
No, he's a dick. Okay, the next guy was the poker dealer. And it's basically man pretends to be hitman to extort his clients. So Vegas resident Assam Ahmed Eid was a poker dealer with an idea to make him some more money on the side. But it wasn't a poker scam. He decided to make a hitman for hire website and take the client's cash himself, I guess.
Okay.
He was branching out as an entrepreneur.
Start a GoFundMe page.
I really don't know what his
I would like to become a hitman.
Business plan was. Yeah.
My business model. I'm gonna start this GoDaddy website, and
I don't think he thought it through. But it was called hitmanforhire.net. Where supposed hitmen could connect with potential clients and vice versa. and requests began pouring in. One from a 5th grade girl who wanted her classmate whacked.
Oh my God, 5th grade?
Yes, apparently. I mean, who knows if she got over there from MySpace or whatever. No,
yeah,
it's probably too late for that. Can't remember what I said. I didn't give a year. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Another one wanted a Lauren Royston of Los Angeles, California, killed ASAP. And the writer of that email, I know, was Marissa Mark of Pennsylvania, and she offered him a $17,000 deposit to carry out the hit. The motive? Roston was the new girlfriend of Marissa Mark's ex-boyfriend.
Oh my God. Okay, people just need to like get over significant others. Like, just get a hobby. I'm sorry, get a hobby.
Oh. Yeah, it's crazy. So what did the 51-year-old Eid do? The poker guy? He Googled how to be a hitman, of course. Quote. What's that? Sorry.
All I could think of was like those how-to like old books before like Google was such a big thing, you know, the ones that talk about those yellow books that was like how to do this, to do that.
It's Hitman for Dummies.
Yeah, the whatever for Dummies books. Yeah. Hitman for Dummies. Be a hitman.
Just buy it with with your own credit card
on Amazon, shipped to my address. How to be a hitman.
But basically, he's that dumb.
I mean,
so, I got so excited because I was like, this next quote is great. But quote, between numerous searches, for Clay Aiken, Ead's wife was an avid fan. Sotelo found records showing that Ead had surfed the web about his new trade. He looked up how to make a homemade silencer from toilet parts, attempted to place an internet order for cyanide.
Going old school, like it.
And researched ricin, the castor bean derived poison famously used in the 1970 assassination of Bulgarian dissident journalist Georgy Markov through an umbrella gun. That's from NPR.
I was gonna say Breaking Bad until you said the year. Famously used, and I almost went in Breaking Bad.
Oh, did they use it on there?
I'm pretty sure he used it, and Walter like kept it inside the plug-in like cover, so he took off like a plug-in cover in his house, and he like kept it like between the electrical and stuff, and he used it. He used it like on a couple people or something. If I remember correctly, it was ricin, and that's how I first heard about it. Was from Breaking Bad.
I wonder if it's kind of like the equivalent of the modern day arsenic or something. It's something you can like get access to or make yourself if you're an amateur. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I can't remember if he made it or it's like derived from like a plant or something that he knew about that was very similar. Something.
Oh yeah. Toxic plant. So yeah, he tried, but he Googled all these things, and he still must not have felt up to the task because he approached the target and told her that she had a hit out on her. This Royston. He told her he had been offered $37,000 to off her, but if she would give him $20,000, he would call it good and leave her alone.
Okay.
A scam. She was terrified and a stupid one. But she immediately called the police because, like,
as one hopefully does in any situation where somebody comes up to you and says, I'm getting paid to murder you, but for $20,000 I'll go away. Yeah, just go to the police.
Yeah, he's almost as dumb as the other guy because he had given her his name and number for easy communication.
Here's my business card.
Right?
I'm a hitman. Here's my phone number.
Leave it to the like the other guy with his fucking diary that's like he's going to kill this person.
I'll pull it in my Rolodex.
Tuesday, kill Susan.
And then it's like circled.
Check.
It's the only thing in the entire month. Kill Susan. Like, Jesus.
Oh. So you might imagine that people got wind of, or that, yeah, he doesn't get very far. But he must have, sorry, let me try that again. He must have gotten wind of some part of the investigation, like perhaps the cops called him up first for an interview because he fled to Ireland.
Oh, interesting.
Where he then proceeded to pull the exact same stunt again.
Oh my God, because it worked so good the first time.
Yeah, not at all.
Figure out a better way to make money.
He will not. A woman named Sharon Collins attempted to hire him to kill her lover, PJ Howard, and his 2 sons. Lovers in quotes, because I never use that word, but I loved it in this context. This woman, Sharon Collins, said, "Remember, I needed to look like he has committed suicide after hearing about his sons." She wrote in an emails obtained by the Times. And this was from the New York Daily News.
After hearing about his sons, like his son's death?
Yes.
Okay.
Gonna kill them all 3.
What? And she's terrible. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Just break up with him.
She sent him a deposit, and this woman also wrote, "The main reason I'm doing this is because he's continually trying to force me to go up and pick up a stranger for sex."
Break up with him.
He's problematic, but yeah, that's not the answer.
He wants to have a threesome. I'm gonna murder him and his 2 sons.
His sons! Oh.
How do you get from point A to point B?
Oh my God. Point Z,000.
Oh my God. Just break up with him.
Don't worry, he's dumb. He offered to let them live for the amount of $134,520. Why?
I love it.
But the target must have alerted authorities, for he was soon arrested and extradited back to the
US.
What?
The same thing happened again after it worked so well the first time? They went to the police.
He ended up in jail in like Mississippi or something. That was the last I read. So yay.
I love it. These make me so happy.
Oh, there was such a good entertaining.
It's chicken soup for my soul.
For the true crime soul.
Yeah, God, we should put that in the description. Chicken soup for the true crime soul. Yeah. Just an episode filled with stupid people.
I do like the stupid crimes. I hope the people that enjoy the gruesome ones also don't mind the occasional funny ones where they're murderless.
But full of attempted murder.
Oh shit, that was a bad preface because my next one might have a death in it. Or the last one.
And Susan did murder somebody. She just murdered her would-be hitman.
Right.
Like a boss.
I wouldn't call it murder, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You don't stop."
Hitman 0 so far in this episode. Susan 1.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it's about to get okay. We'll see what this next matchup is. Oh, and it's funny because I titled it "The Guy and the Governess."
Ooh, okay.
So in the 1920s in Bratislava, which is in Slovakia, I guess. So smart. No. I love geography though. Okay. Lived a man and a wife. Oh shit, I did the thing again. I'm gonna guess at the pronunciation a little bit. It's probably like well, Slovakia, but like, you know how like Polish names look and stuff? Like it's one of those. It's Mr. and Mrs. Draskozy or something like that. Yeah. Draskoczy. So then I just called her Mrs. D.
Mrs. D.
And Mrs. D wanted a divorce. So she devised a plan, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Well, plan might be, I'll use the term loosely, I guess. I might be overstating it. This plan involved hiring a new governess to help her, a governess for their 15-year-old child, by the way.
And the governess, they're like the babysitters, right?
Yeah,
like
picture
nannies.
like Sound of Music, like she's the governess of the 6 kids. So some of them could be older, but like, yeah, they're like a nanny.
Okay.
I know that I remember I clicked on the find out more kind of article, and then it said that like that's when it gave the detail of the 15-year-old, and I was like, oh Jesus. Okay. I mean,
like da.
Yeah, my kid's about to turn 15, and like she's starting to be able to be past like people think she's 17, you know, she's tall.
Yeah.
All right, so she got the governess to agree to help to drive her husband crazy, this Mrs. D, to make his life right?
Drive him crazy.
Yeah, my words, because I don't know what the fuck. It was basically like she wanted to make his life as miserable as possible so he would want a divorce.
Okay.
She's clearly highly logical. But he did end up getting annoyed by whatever antics they were getting up to a little bit, but not so annoyed that he wanted a divorce. Go figure.
He's like, can we try therapy? And she's like, God damn it, I have to hire a hitman.
Thought you hated our nanny, and that would be enough.
Have an affair with the nanny, please. I'll pay you.
Interesting.
That's how it happened. Ooh, okay.
Well,
continue.
He got extremely paranoid and began suspecting he was being poisoned. So he made sure to get his wife to test all his food before eating. She was not poisoning him. That would be just too straightforward.
What is she doing?
I don't know. No.
Psychological warfare. She's so cunning.
Except she's like, I don't know, let's try this. She told her husband that she was being hit on by the governess and that she suspected that the governess was really a man.
Okay. What does the governess look like?
There was like one old newspaper article. I don't know that any pictures exist. Like, I remember Googling it, and like, you know how sometimes pictures come up, but you're like not sure if they're all from the same case.
Yeah.
You're like, questionable. There's some old black and white ones, and you're like,
as soon as you started talking about a governess, all I could think of was American Horror Story in the first season when they had the sexy maid, and then every time the wife sees the maid, it's what's her face from 6 Feet Under. But then anytime the guy sees her, she's like super attractive and always trying to seduce him.
Damn, that's the only season I watched too. The mother from 6 Feet Under, the older lady.
Yeah,
the Ruth lady. Oh, okay.
And she's like blinded one eye, and she's like, oh, and the husband keeps being like, she's trying to seduce me, and the wife like looks at the maid being like, she's trying to seduce you.
Oh, because he sees the sexy one. Right.
Yeah, and he's like, well, she was like bending over and stuff. So funny.
She's like, oh,
I will forever porn. Like she's like forever my favorite character in the entire series is just all the shenanigans the sexy maid gets because it's terrible. And he like never says like what she looks like, and then the wife just forever is seeing like this 70-year-old woman.
And he's probably too afraid to be like, well, she's hot as fuck, like, you notice that, right?
She's like 70-year-old walking with a limp and blind.
It's just what I'm into.
A very specific taste.
Oh, okay. Too funny. It's like when you like, oh yeah, this looks like a good erotic movie. Oh no. Okay. Never happened. Where was I? Jesus. Okay.
The maid is trying to seduce the one. That might be a man.
Yes, the wife is like, the governess is always trying to hit on me and kiss me, and like, she's probably really a man. Of course.
The husband's like super into it.
Instead of, yeah, well, you would think that would be the reaction, or either that or what the fuck. But instead, he kind of decides he's going to ask the governess to prove that she's a woman. Don't know any more about that.
Not great, but
weird flex, but okay. Apparently, she eventually agreed to let him into her room to test the theory. I don't know what else to call it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you don't need to test.
This sounds like a recipe for disaster, no matter what the answer is.
Yeah.
And it is. He entered the dark moonlit room as she waited in the shadows, and she asked him in a soft voice to turn his head a little so she could, I don't know, I guess get ready. This is all we got.
Okay. This is so weird. I'm like trying to I'm trying to picture it and not picture it at the same time. Be like the soft moonlit room, and she's
I'm like, I had this like one article to go off. I'm like, well, if this isn't the truth, then oh well.
Sorry.
Yeah, you had to be there. That's what history is anyway. All right. Yeah, there was moonbeam coming in from the window, like shining into the room, so it was partially
romantic.
illuminated. What's that?
Romantic.
Oh, definitely. I like that it set the mood.
Some candles. It's not like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's got to be moonlit.
Yeah. And he did obligingly turn his head to the side slightly, because we just know he's so, accommodating, this guy.
Yeah, as she somehow proves she's a woman.
He's a little bit of a doormat, maybe. And she pulled out her gun and shot him.
Love it. It's the best.
I mean, I'm sorry. This is he's a Darwin Award winner. Like, if you can't keep alive at this point, I can't really feel that bad for you.
That's great. Yeah, just turn your head. I'll get it. Just okay, cool. Boom. Love it.
And the thing was, he was hit in the head, but he did not die instantly from the gunshot wound.
Okay.
He became confused. My words, no doubt.
You shot me?
And then he went on, like, about where the shot came from. He thought it came in through the window, and so he tried to run outside to look for his attackers.
Oh my god, he didn't think it was her.
Just lost it and ran out there thinking, like, who are these people? But sadly, he later died from his wounds, but not before implicating the 2 women who were both arrested and presumably charged.
Okay.
Again, there wasn't a lot on that one, but it was too salacious not to include it.
I wonder what happened with their kid, their 15-year-old kid. I was like, what is going on with my family?
Right. I mean, no worse than nowadays with some of the drama.
Yeah. Thought mom was having an affair with a governess that may be a man, and dad was gonna prove, and then dad got shot.
It sounds like
mom's in jail.
The 2000s.
Yeah.
Except for the governess part.
It sounds like the plot of like a soap opera.
Oh, totally. I was
like The Young and the Restless could like carry this on for the entire season.
And also, just why are people so afraid of divorce?
Right.
I don't get it. It's like that thing where couples get married after they've been together for a long time too, and some of them just like get divorced right away. It's just like, I don't know, that
it's so weird to me. Sometimes. I don't understand how that like works. I think it's the financial stress of like the wedding must do something to people.
That's a real thing. I you know, people sometimes ask me why we're not like officially married, and I'm like, well, do you want to pay for like a $10,000 party and then like start your relationship? Plus we were too busy like having a baby. But yeah, like it's a stressor for sure. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to bring it down after my crazy cases. But yeah, that was a little light and a little fun. So stupid. Definitely Asinine Assassins. Not assassins at all.
No.
No Black Widows there or anything.
Nope. No, what is it? Red Sparrow is the other one.
Oh, is it?
With Jennifer Lawrence, I think.
Ooh, and then okay, yeah, I know, because the Black Widows, they go into the red room, so I wasn't sure. But
yeah,
they always have to have a cool name, don't you know?
And then Killing Eve, you got Villanelle.
Oh, I still have to watch that.
It's ending right away. I'm basically just gonna wait until everybody, like, the last episode airs, and then I'll watch the last season. It's received mixed reviews, so
I do that a lot of times too. Yeah, I like to binge stuff.
Yeah, it's an easy one to binge. There's only like 6 or 8 episodes a season.
Okay.
So you could, I think, watch like 1 and 2 in one day, and then 2 and then 3 and 4 in another day.
I like that. I could probably do that if I could get. Sometimes I get watching it with Pat, and then I'm like, okay, let's watch more. And then he's like, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still got to take you through Fringe. You said you wanted to watch it now. I don't know. We're binging things.
Yeah.
It takes a while. Almost done the Mr. Mercedes. We're on the season 3 now.
Nice.
Still good. Pretty good. I like it. Shocked me.
That's
Sometimes TV, like, you know, you'll get a TV adaptation and they don't do things exactly like the book, and then
yeah.
Like, oh shit, what was that?
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll take a quick break, I guess.
Yes. All right, are you ready? This is one of the weirdest, and well, not really weirdest, but like stupidest things I ran across, which is why I had to cover it.
I like stupid.
Yeah, so right off the bat, I want to thank, because it does take place in China. So I did have to look up Chinese pronunciations for names as much as I could. So a lot of it actually came from like the website Chinese Names in English. It does good. It kind of, you can like, if you like punch in like a first or last name, it'll tell you based on like, it basically breaks it up by like the number of like syllables, so it'll tell you like how to pronounce like each syllable like at a time. It'll say this name contains like these 2 syllables, here's how you pronounce each of the syllables.
Oh wow.
And it's like, okay. And then it even tells you like, it'll say like, this is the most similar like English pronunciation, and you can like click it and it'll like say it. And there they go. And then it'll tell you like, it'll say like, oh, you pronounce it like the word sing, like the ng in the word sing, and then it'd be like, so it tells you how to like, or like you say it like the e in this word. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I use that quite a bit.
And important in Chinese, because like my friend Jill that lives in China teaching English and has for many years now, I remember her telling me like, depending how you say the word ma, like, yes, you know, it's like how emphasis is like ma or like ma, like it could mean like horse or like mother. It's like completely different things. It's like, okay.
I'm probably still gonna get all the pronunciation wrong, but I did try my best. So
we do.
this case is taking place in Guangxi, China, which I wanted to look up the population. It's well over 50 million people.
Okay.
And the it's city? Also, yeah. It does have like its own like province that is quite poor, which I think this might be taking place in. But it mostly talked about the court case taking place there and not really like where this specifically happened, other than the city.
Fair enough. But it's not like I would know where that place was anyway.
Yeah.
The little village.
It is home to real estate developer Tan Yohui. I think it's spelled Yohui, but it's Yohui.
Oh, okay.
I should get up my little thing. I made a little reference thing for myself, and I'm putting it in the corner. Okay.
Oh, you did good. I've been slacking on looking up pronunciations.
Well, these were like all over the place. I'm like, and I know there was no way it was going to be even remotely phonetic that I could do it. So,
yeah. Oh, I know. It's like you might as well be like, what's the saying? It's all Chinese to me. No, it's all Greek to me, or whatever. It's like you're speaking Chinese.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, Tan, the real estate developer, he assumes like pretty wealthy. So in 2013, his firm was actually like his real estate firm, I guess, was in a legal dispute over a shared property development with a gentleman who in some articles was identified as a Mr. Wei, and other ones said his name was Wei Mao.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like his rival. But for some reason, they had a shared property development that they were in a dispute over.
Okay.
So he didn't want to pay for like this, what he assumed would be a lengthy court case. So he decided to hire a hitman to kill Mr. Wei Mao instead.
Because that's going to be a little cheaper.
I don't know how much the court case was going to be.
Right. But, he's going to hedge his bets and hope that this is going to be cheaper.
So this is October 2013. Tan Yohui contacts a hitman by the name of Shi Guangan and offers him about 2 million. I believe the like currency is the renminbi. But he's offering 2 million. I think it's about the equivalent. This article, I don't know if this was an American or not. They said it was a little under like $300,000. So I'd assume that's like
US
American
dollars. Yeah,
probably. I think so.
Oh, for some reason I was going to say yen, but maybe that's Chinese yen. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, when I looked up, like it has a little like symbol. When I looked up the symbol, it came up with yen, and then it also came up with this other denomination. So I'm like, I'm not sure. But
yeah, that one I haven't heard of. Yen I've heard of.
Yeah, that's the one I heard of before too. But
yeah. Okay.
So he's offering him 2 million. And he offers this to the Xing Guangan, and she accepts.
Nailed it.
It's XI, but it's pronounced she.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But little did Tan Yohui know, shortly after taking the contract, the hitman, contacted a different hitman because he was lazy, by the name of Muha Tianxiang. And he offers this other hitman half the price that Tan had offered him. So he offers him $1 million and to kill Mr. Wei Mao. And he accepts the contract. And then she goes to Tan actually in April of 2014 and says that he needs to be paid another like million, I'm going to say yen then, after the killing, which Tan, the real estate developer, accepts. So because he's forking over, originally he was supposed to get paid 2 million. Now he's asking for 3 million because he has to pay this other hitman half of what he was supposed to be paid. So he wants an extra million because now he has to fork over a million to the other guy.
Greedy much?
Right? But he accepts. So Tan agrees to pay. But what she doesn't know is, oh my God, did I write this out right? Yeah. What she doesn't know is that after he hires the Muha gentleman and gets the contract, this guy decides he doesn't want to kill Mr. Weimao either. So he hires his own hitman by the name of Yang Kang Shang. And
wait.
It's
like a Russian nesting doll of
hitmen.
Every time you look for a hitman, there's another hitman behind it.
It keeps going. It's honestly ridiculous how many times this happens. That's why I had to talk about this, because it's hilarious.
I was gonna say, that's almost the opposite of the one that did the website I was talking about.
Yeah.
But it's
okay.
Weird.
So the contract is given to Yang Kangshang, and he's now supposed to be the one killing Wei Mao at a cost of 270,000 yen with a bonus of 500,000 after the job is done. So that means that that means that Mua is now supposed to be only making like 30,000.
Oh my God.
No, he'd be making $230,000 after all is said and done.
But wow. Okay.
So this young guy, he takes this job, he accepts the deal, and the hitman that hired him by the name of Mua, he gives him a phone with the picture that has Wei Mao on it, who is the target. He also gives him his license plate number and also like a printed like physical copy of a picture of him. For some reason, this is the only detailed thing of anybody like passing down actual information. But I wanted to include it. So this hitman,
so they did pass down the right identity of the person they were supposed to be killing. Could have been a bad game of telephone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this game of telephone is properly working. It's just stupid. So
it's just the worst game ever.
We're now in what? 1, 2, 3. We're at the third hitman that's been hired.
Right. I was gonna say that's what I have noted down to keep track.
So the hitman by the name of Yang Kangshang, he hires a hitman by the name of Yang Guangshang.
Oh my God, no.
Names. And he's now the one that's going to be killing Wei Mao. And he's going to be killing him at a cost of 200,000 yen with a bonus of 500,000 after the kill is done. And this young gentleman, he accepts the deal from Yang. But little did they know, I typed out, little did Yang know that after Yang took the contract, he too hired the fifth and final hitman.
Literally just everyone outsourcing it to the cheapest thing they can get.
Absolutely. And like nobody's making money off this except basically the first guy who's getting like 2 million.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like
game.
Right?
Which I finally watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So the fifth and final hitman is actually hired at near the end of April 2014. So this, like, thing has been going on for almost 6 months. Where like from the time in like October he wanted to kill this guy to like the end of April, he still hasn't been killed because everybody keeps hot potatoing it.
And no one's told him yet either, though.
He doesn't know.
Right, unlike
all these
my
people.
case.
Yeah. So the last hitman is Ling Xian's. It ends in an SZ.
Okay.
Pronunciation.
I'll take your word for it. No.
Well, it ends in an SI, but it's so near the end of April 2014, and the hit out on Weimao is for a fee of just 100,000 yen. Very shy of the $2 million or 2 million yen before.
They're like, now it's $10.
Yeah.
Just take this guy
out. Ling accepts the deal, and I put now holds Wei Mao's fate in his hands. What would be your guess that Ling's gonna do?
Okay. I'm now all I'm thinking about is my case where he's gonna go tell him.
That's what he does.
No, what? It couldn't be.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just thinking that because that's what happened in mine.
Yeah. So apparently, according to some sources, Ling at this point maybe had gotten word that this had been hot potatoed to him because it was so cheap. He assumed people were getting paid much more than him that were supposed to have killed him. So I guess basically some of the sources just say he was pretty mad, and he sets up a meeting in public with Wei Mao in a small cafe where he tells him that he had been hired to kill him and offers him a deal of his own. And Ling and Wei Mao are now going to fake his own death.
Oh my god. Okay, no, I didn't see that part coming.
I don't know if they like agreed on a price.
Whoa. But I'm still trying to get over that he went to him. That just doesn't usually happen. So
keep in mind that these are supposed to be like legitimate hitmen. They aren't like random one-off people. Like these are actual like hitmen, supposedly.
Right. Yeah, they probably have collectively, at least a few of them killed someone.
Yeah. So Ling ends up working with Wei Mao. I guess he convinces him to like pose for staged photos. So he like ties Wei Mao up, he gags him, they like pose him so it looks like he's dead. He takes a couple pictures. So I have the thing, which is trickling back to Tan. So Ling takes the pictures of Wei Mao, sends them to Yang, who forwards them to the other, or I guess not to Yang, to Yang, who forwards them to the other Yang, who sends them to Moa, who sends them to Shi, who sends them to Tan. And during this exchange of the photo, Wei Mao, some sources say he decides to go to the police and report that he had just faked his own death, while other sources say that Wei Mao had actually only ever agreed to pose for the staged photos in the first place because the hitman Ling said that he himself would go to the police.
Little blackmail there.
Yeah.
If that's the case. But
so
wait, what? He's like, I'm gonna go to the police and say that we were gonna fake your death because I was gonna kill you.
Yeah, that's why that one doesn't make sense to me.
But no, I had to think about that. I'm like,
I read like 6 different news articles about this, and it was mentioned in half of them that Ling said he would go to the police. So
okay. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Gordo, go away. He's on the other side of my laptop harassing me. Sorry.
He has to make his appearance this episode. He's like, oh, he talked about me so much last episode. Although, like I said, I did cut out maybe one part where you had to be like, hold on, Gordo's being an asshole.
Yeah.
Probably when he was fucking with your blinds or something. So it's like, oh no.
Probably.
We've had to stop it a couple times. But yeah. Oh,
yeah.
He's cute.
He's very cute. He looks at you and just like, oh. So at this point, obviously now that the police have been notified, all 5 hitmen who hot potatoed each other and the businessman who ordered the hit in the first place, Tan Yo Hui, are all arrested and charged with what's called intentional homicide. So the intent to commit homicide, I guess.
Oh, because now I think of it, I have heard of something like conspiracy to kill, even though I didn't say that in mine. Yeah.
Yeah, this, I think maybe it's like the Chinese version. It's called intentional homicide.
Intentional homicide sounds like attempted murder or conspiracy to commit murder or something.
So the first trial for this ended up taking place in 2016, but it's kind of strange. I couldn't find any information about it. All 6 men were actually acquitted due to lack of evidence. Don't really know.
Okay.
The prosecution filed an appeal against that decision, and this caused a second trial to take place over the course of the next 3 years, so from like 2016 to 19. And during this time, each of the 6 men were convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to jail time. So
okay, they got some.
Speaking of fucking with your blinds, Gordo. Oh, no. My spray bottle isn't in reach. Oh my god.
Somebody's gonna get solitary confinement.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's for you. I mean, they say it doesn't work, but it sure is fun. Okay.
Oh, I tell you, the things you end up having to redo because you're like animal are, Fenrir will lay up against the wall and then his nails will scratch the wall, or he like jumps up when he's like ready to go for his walk and then his nails scratch the wall. And then I'm like, great. We're like, now we have to like, plaster and like repaint the wall.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ugh, stupid.
Okay. So running through from the top, so the real estate investor Tan Hui is sentenced to 5 years prison time, and Shi Guang'an is sentenced to 3.5 years. So he was the first hitman. Both of the Yongs were sentenced the same amount of time, 3 years and 3 months.
Oh.
And then Mua Tianxiang was sentenced to 3 years, and the last hitman that didn't do it was sentenced to 2 years and 7 months.
I was gonna say it's kind of like the sliding scale of hit and punishment.
But I mean, the business guy was only sentenced to 5 years. Oh, I just copied this from one of the articles. I can't remember which one it was. I should have kept the source. I read so many articles. It says Chinese publication Beijing News reported the low price irked the 5th hitman to such an extent it prompted him to get in touch with the target, Mr. Wei, and ask him to fake his own death, a decision that led to the elaborate plot finally unraveling.
Okay.
So that's really like what led to it all. If really any of the hitmen had actually killed Wei Mao, we may not have ever, it may be like an unsolved case, so they probably would have caught Tan, but
true.
Yeah, it's kind of like insane. It just like just stupidly
involves so many other people. Like I forget what you were saying before we had a cat interrupt, but we'll try and edit it. But it's like
it was 5 hitmen like involved.
Like, you can't tell that many people and try and keep it a secret. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead, or whatever the fuck the saying is. It's like no.
But that brings me to what I said. The reason why I wanted to close out the episode is I gave Gordo a bottle cap and he's playing with it around and behind the couch. So this is actually a CNN article. I didn't retype any of this. It's just copied. So I'm probably just going to read through it because honestly, it's pretty great. The CNN, headline was, it's by Faith Karimi, and it was published just a few months ago in December of 2021.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So very recently. It's entitled, "A Michigan Woman Faces Prison After Trying to Hire an Assassin Through a Fake Website." So kind of similar to your case. But when you were talking about your case, it's actually none of the ones that they reference like in this article.
Okay. So similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So, and it's actually a different website too, which is good.
Hitmanforhire.ca. Sorry, that's the Canada.com for you guys that don't know.
So there was it says Wendy Ween, Wein.
Okay.
Wendy Ween wanted her ex-husband dead. Again, this is just like right from the article. In July of 2020, the Michigan woman came across the website Rent a Hitman that promised to, quote, handle your delicate situation privately and in a timely manner. The website boasts having almost 18,000 field operatives who can do a job anywhere in the United States. It features testimonials from satisfied clients, including a man who wrote that Rent a Hitman, quote, handled my disgruntled employee issue promptly while I was out of town on vacation, end quote.
Well, that's good. You can just set it and forget it.
Yeah. So Ween filled out a form on the website seeking consultation for her issue. Quote, "This is the kind of weird that your company is not on the deep, this is kind of weird that your company is not on the deep or dark web," she wrote in a message to a man she believed was the site's chief consultant, Giodo Finelli.
Wow.
CNN obtained a copy of the message, quote, "I prefer not to go to jail," she added. "Thanks for your time." That didn't stop Ween from offering later to pay $5,000 to have her husband killed. But there was a problem. Giodo Finelli was actually Bob Inez, or Ines, I think it's Ines, a California man who runs the website, Rent a Hitman's operatives that never actually killed anybody. Instead, the site exists to dupe people who are looking for hired killers. Ween is now headed to prison. One of the several Rent a Hitman clients, in quotes, who have been found guilty of using the site to solicit a murder. The site owner turns murderous clients over to police. What started as a website for an internet security business, which I tried to figure out like how that happened. He talks about it a bit more later on. It's very confusing. I don't understand it.
It morphed into something else.
Yeah. So, it started as an internet security business, has turned by accident into online bait for people looking to get their enemies killed. Their service requests go to Ines, who hands serious inquiries over to law enforcement. So he doesn't hand everything over. Ines, who lives in Fairfield, California, says he left red flags all over his site, hinting that it's a trap. For starters, the website openly suggests that it offers legal services, suggests that it offers illegal services.
Illegal, right. Okay.
Its phony testimonials include one from a woman who's, quote, ready to mingle after she caught her husband cheating with a babysitter. I feel like none of his hints are strong enough. He needs to like slap people in the face with this because
what? She's single, jilted, killed, and ready to mingle.
Murdered. In its 18,000 field operatives are actually the estimated number of law enforcement agencies nationwide. How do people know that? At the bottom of the site, there's a link to check your credit card, or to check if your credit card has been stolen, and that takes users to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center.
So it's run by the authorities, but it pretends to be.
No, it's run by this guy who owns the domain for it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what?
Okay. Yeah, he basically just runs this in his spare time.
But he's doing it like to catch them? Is that the deal?
Not necessarily. Well, he didn't intend for it to be that way. It goes through it like later. There's more.
Okay.
Bob Ines, who launched the Rent a Hitman website in 2005 to support an internet security business, the site promises confidentiality under what he calls the Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964, which is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be another red flag that it's a fake website. But this is a tongue-in-cheek nod to HIPAA, a real-life health insurance portability and accountability act, which passed in 1996 and protects patients' medical information. How do people know this? But some people still fall for it.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, I would fall for it if I was looking for a hitman. It says some people still fall for it. Sorry. Yeah, some people still fall for it, filling out online forms with their real names, contact information, and details about who they want, quote, handled.
Their fifth grade classmate.
Yeah. Ines says more than 400 people have filled service request forms on the site since it launched, including some who have expressed interest in becoming hitmen and pranksters trying to play jokes on friends. Of those, roughly 10% turned out to be legitimate cases where police became involved. Ines says, quote, I thought nobody could be that stupid, and boy, have I been proven wrong. These people, whoever they are, they see HIPAA and they think privacy, so they feel compelled to leave their real information, names, addresses, where the intended target is, end quote. He gives people 24 hours to cool off before he alerts authorities. If a person fills out a form on his site and explicitly seeks to have someone killed, Ines will wait 24 hours before contacting police. Quote, it's kind of like a cooling off period to come back to your senses. I want to give people the opportunity to walk away. After a day, I ask them 2 questions. Do you still require our services? Do you want to be connected with a field operative? If they respond yes to both, Ines connects them to a law enforcement agency in their area, which takes over communications with the subject.
Oh, wow.
Ines never discusses a fee or leaves that to never discusses a fee. He leaves that to the field operatives, which are normally, like in your case, undercover police officers. It says, quote, I just play matchmaker with the police. I'd rather be a state witness than a state conspirator.
Okay.
So when Ween, the Michigan woman, confirmed after 24 hours that she still wanted to hire a killer, Ines turned her information over to Michigan State Police, and they sent a state trooper posing in plain clothes as a hitman to meet her in a parking lot in South Rockwood, south of Detroit. Wendy Ween was arrested last year and now faces up to 9 years in prison. Police said Ween offered to pay the trooper $5,000 to kill her ex-husband and provided his home address, place of work, and schedule. State police told CNN she gave the trooper $200 down payment for travel expenses because her ex-husband lived in another state.
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
$200?
Ween was arrested and pleaded guilty last month to charges of solicitation for murder and use of a computer to commit a crime. She faces up to 9 years in prison at her sentencing scheduled in January. Quote, what stood out most about the case was the foolishness of the suspect attempting to hire a hitman from a website. Michigan State Police Sergeant Michael Peterson, who led the case, says. Ines says he never intended to trap would-be killers. When he launched the website in 2005, he was trying to start an internet security business focusing on web traffic and risk analysis for small networks. The breakdown is that rent is supposed to mean to hire us. Hitman as in web traffic and analytics. So like web hits, like the number of hits you get or clicks, I guess. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah,
but it says rent a hitman.
Right. And they can somehow get away with it being a trap for people. I don't know if I fully understand. Okay.
Yeah. His internet security business never took off, so he tried to sell the domain name. There wasn't much interest for buyers, so he forgot about it and let the site like sit dormant for years. Then one day in 2008, he checked the site's inbox, I assume like as a joke, and he was stunned. There, quote, there were emails about how much for a hit. Are you hiring a hitman? End quote. Ein says, I didn't know how to respond, so I shut down the email inbox and walked away for a couple more years. 2 years later, another murder for hire solicitation hit his inbox. In its web. Oh, I have like a picture that says, oh, this is like the HIPAA security thing that's on the website. It says, did you know Rent a Hitman, your point and click solution, is the only problem resolution specialist that has been compliant with HIPAA, Hitman, Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964, since the beginning. Your privacy is important to us. I love it.
It sounds good, right?
It's literally got a picture of a guy wearing all black with like the like ski mask over his face, holding a like, I think it's a computer or like a briefcase or something.
Oh my god.
It's
great. Who is wearing the balaclava. Yeah, the whole face thing. Yeah. Just money bags. No, I don't know.
So I just have a bit more, not too much. It's just about like some of the cases they've caught. So this is the first one that actually had like somebody trying to hire a hitman. It says, quote, this is from Eins, the guy that runs the website. It says, I get an email from a woman saying she needed 3 people murdered. A few hours later, she sent a second email with the names and addresses of the people she wanted killed. The woman told Eins she was a British citizen living in Ontario, Canada, and that the 3 people she wanted killed had stolen her father's inheritance. Eins says he looked up some of the addresses she provided and her information seemed to check out. Quote, she wanted to get even. She was not going to stop at anything. I reached out to a friend who was a sergeant and said, I think this lady is serious. Can we request a welfare check? And the friend notified Canadian authorities. The woman was arrested and served a few months behind bars for soliciting to commit murder before she was deported back to Britain. Eins says, this was my first case. I said, quote, it's a $9.20 website that just prevented 3 murders. That was the turning point for the website. So he turned the site into what he calls an over-the-top parody, complete with fake HIPAA statement and offers of special discount packages for groups and seniors. That was my favorite part.
Because seniors can't be expected to do their own killing. They're old.
My understanding is I don't know if it was a discount for murdering a group of people or seniors.
No, don't say that. It can't be that.
I took it. Yeah. 2-for-1 deal. Murder 2 people for the price of 1.
Right?
Every second Wednesday.
A little promotion.
Every second Wednesday. And then this part I kind of already read in the thing. Rent a Hitman is safe, secure, and available right here on the World Wide Web, says the site, which promises to be your point and click solution. Another man tried to use the website to kidnap a child. Eins' website also led to the conviction of a Virginia man who tried to hire someone to kill his ex-girlfriend and her parents in 2018. The man, Devin Fubar, is mentally disabled. Yeah, Fubar? Fubar.
This whole situation is Fubar.
He's mentally disabled and told an officer posing as a hitman that he wanted to kill the 3 relatives so he could take care of his ex-girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah, it says, quote, make sure you kill them and don't kill the baby. Fubar wrote in his online request for a hitman. Ayn says Fubar also asked to have the child kidnapped along with her birth certificate from her home in Staunton. According to Ayn's, court records show that Fubar was sentenced in 2019 to 10 years in prison for solicitation to commit first-degree murder. Despite the publicity such cases bring to his website, Ayn says he still gets online requests from people who want to hire a hitman. Some reach out from overseas asking if they can arrange a hit in a specific country. He never advertises the website, so he thinks people are probably finding it through online searches. And Ayn says his website's analytics show that it's been viewed in 160 countries. So almost every country.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
He says, quote, that's absolutely mind-boggling. Ayn says he's now trying to educate people about online dangers and calling for tougher laws for people convicted of using the internet to carry out violent crimes. Quote, this is a work in progress, but if there's any lawmakers, internet safety groups, or anyone else that may want to assist in this project, that would be greatly appreciated, he says. So I assume like he's reaching out. So hopefully he can like make it a bigger thing. And then the article with CNN just ended saying, meanwhile, he's continuing playing matchmaker between murderous clients and the police. Yeah.
In his spare time. No, I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume he does this full time because he's not making any money or anything off of it. So I just assume he has it like.
Yeah, working in any official capacity.
Yeah, because he's not like law enforcement. He just thought Rent a Hitman would be good as an internet security website, which I don't understand why you would think that ever, but okay. It also it just says like rent-a-hitman in the article. It never actually says like specifically what the website is. So I assume it's like www.rentahitman. But kind of confusing. Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure what it meant about it starting about as internet security, because it obviously isn't that anymore.
No. No, it's kind of confusing. Yeah.
Okay, how is Fubar spelled? I do have that question.
It was F-A-U-B-E-R.
F-A-U-B-E-R. No, because that's why I said it is Fubar, because like the acronym fucked up beyond all recognition. Fubar. Yeah, it's even there's like a movie called Fubar. It's like I think it comes from the army, because there's another one too that's like what a snafu is?
Mm-mm.
It actually stands for situation normal all fucked up.
No,
so if
that
anyone
doesn't make sense.
Snafu or something is foobarred, it's all fucked. So that's why I laughed when you're like Fubar. Oh my God, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I really like that. It was interesting. It's like, okay. It was, I don't know if I even said that I was thinking it when you were talking about all the different hitmen. I was like, you know how they always say it's turtles all the way down. No, well, it's
no, I don't know what that is.
That's like, I forget what it comes from originally, but when they say like as if the earth was just on the back of a turtle, and then it's like, well, what if it's just like turtles all the way down? It's like, it's all crazy. It's all just fucked up. We don't know.
Yeah, I should read you some of my sources' headlines for that.
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, because I was just gonna say
none of these are funny. Hold on. I'm like,
no,
so many.
Can I just finish my thought though?
I was like, sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh no. The turtles all the way down made me think it was like hitmen all the way down. As far as you look, it was just hitmen. The further you look down, it was like, oh my God. Pull it back, there's another hitman. Yeah, that was great. I like it.
Yeah, most of the here, I just Googled it again. Hold on. One of the articles is called Hitman Outsourced a Murder to Hitman. Who hired Hitman? Who hired Hitman? Who hired Hitman?
Oh my God.
A Chinese businessman who hired a hitman, who hired a hitman, who hired a hitman, who hired a hitman, who hired a hitman. Court documents say now they've all been sentenced to prison.
Okay, I love those kind of headlines, which is why I had to include some of the little subtitle headlines from the article I read. I was like,
yeah.
This person tries to kill this person and fails.
Yeah, the 5 reluctant hitmen of China group jailed over botched contract killing. And then there's
dumb.
just a picture of them. There's only 2 pictures for my case that I could find at all. One of them I can't even confirm if it is like the real estate developer Tanchi or not.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just the lineup of all of the hitmen like in their prison thing, and Shackle's like in court just like standing there in a line. It's like boom 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 boom. And it's like amazing.
Meanwhile, the would-be victim is just like still alive.
You 5 people were too lazy to kill me. Like
too cheap to do it for that amount, or like whatever. Yeah, just too greedy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. He's like, well, 5 you tried to hire, in the end like 5 people refused to kill me because they were too lazy. What does that say? What does that say when a hitman's too lazy?
His nickname's now going to be like Assassin Proof or something. He's like Rasputin. He's someone who's like, you just can't kill me no matter how you try.
I was like, this is perfect. Once I like read the details, I was like,
I did not come across that at all. Right. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah.
It's probably like if you Google what I think I was like Googling like failed hitman or something, and it was like out of the first, I don't know, 10 results on Google, it was like 5 of them. So I was like, oh, Alanna probably knows this one, because it was literally every page of Google. It was like half of the results were like Chinese 5 failed hitman, reluctant hitman, like over and over and over again.
No, because like I said, or maybe not on recording, but like if you just kept Googling horrible hitmen and things of that variation, at first I was like getting nothing.
Yeah.
So I didn't dive too far once I found something.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our next one.
Yeah, UFO abductions.
Oh, yes. I literally had to look. I could not remember. Okay, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
There's so many alien encounters like that we haven't covered. Yeah.
Are we doing encounters too? Like encounters and abductions? I think so.
Yeah, as long as it's in that vein, I'm cool. I like when it's not too tight of a theme, and then, you know, kind of surprise each other a little if we need. Yeah. Because like there's, I think I was saying to you, there's some like close encounters of the third kind or whatever the heck they count it when you like see them and they, you know, you see them. Maybe you make contact. Yeah. Oh yes, we haven't done that in a while. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been a long time since our one Patreon that we ended up posting, because I can't even remember the reason.
We were having difficulties, I like to say, that week, and we weren't sure if we are going to get the normal one out, but we did. And then people were like, oh, look at you with your bonus episode. And we were like, yeah. Check them out on Patreon. Yeah, that was like close to like episode 10 though. That was in between 12 and 13.
That was a really long time ago.
So long ago.
Almost a year ago.
And speaking of long ago, last episode, which I was just editing with the cryptids, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I remember talking like the bunyip, and then I was like, maybe I just know it, and then I was like, went back in my notes, I was like, I briefly mentioned it in Cryptids by Sea, but sometimes we talk about so much in one episode that you just can't remember it all. Oh, but anyway, that was great. Yay, thank you for listening, and thank you for that case. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you for yours. Yours were very funny. I liked it.
I had fun.
And I'm gonna go to bed and dream about a pile of cheese.
Oh my God. Don't
I can't
make
get
me
over
want
that.
cheese now. No.
It's wonderful.
I'm good. I had to eat during our last break, so I'm but now I want queso.
No.
Oh my God. All right, we'll see you next week for aliens.
No.
All right. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been Castles and Cryptids. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and our YouTube channel. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit. On our website, you can listen to all of our episodes as well as view pictures for each of our segments. Check out our Patreon page to view all of our tiers and become a Patreon supporter today to unlock monthly bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes content. We are working on an Ask Us Anything. You can submit questions by social media or by email at castlesandcryptids@gmail.com. Do you have a spooky ghost story, a creepy cryptid sighting, or a thrilling true crime tale you would like to share and have us include in a future episode? Send us your listener story by social media or by email. Please include the name that you would like mentioned. Our music is by Kobe Fair. Our logo and artwork is by Antonio Garcia. Thanks for listening.